So the official patch notes for version 10.0 releasing on June the 11th have been released. I'm going to be going over everything that is new within this first major content update in quite a while, and there's definitely some really exciting things to look out for. So let's start off. The following updates have been made when playing the game on Nintendo Switch 2. Made it so that the screen displays in more detail. Made on-screen movement smoother in the following areas: Splatsville, Inkopolis Square, and Grand Festival Grounds. So it's really cool to hear that the movement will be even better in these areas. I guess it won't really be the case for in battles and such, but we're still early on in these patch notes, so let's continue. In Salmon Runs, smooth salmonid animations even when there's a large number of salmonids in the stage. I heard that Salmon Run was already moving a lot better on Switch 2 even before this update, so that's definitely good. Smoothed animations for certain characters such as jellyfish. Change the animation that displays in the bottom right of the screen when switching scenes. Increase the resolution of images stored in the Nintendo Switch 2 album when screens are captured using photo mode or the capture button on the controller. The following updates have been made when playing the game on Nintendo Switch. Made it so that certain elements outside of the stage and unrelated to battle do not display when battling in Splat Zones, Tower Control, Rainmaker, and Clan Blitz modes. This change is to reduce differences in game operation speed as much as possible when compared to Nintendo Switch 2. In Recon mode, all elements will display as they have up to this point. All other changes will now apply to both Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch. So it's really interesting that they're making some specific changes to kind of compensate for the fact that Switch 2 will be running better. I guess they don't want anyone to have an advantage just because they'll have a Nintendo Switch 2, which I think is very fair. And honestly, I think that's a good idea. If certain things are outside of the stage and off in the distance that aren't really providing any use or aren't even really being noticed by players that much when they're actually within the battles, it isn't super necessary for them to appear. So anything to kind of anything to improve the performance of the game, I think is a good change. Changes to multiplayer. Added new stage, Urchin Underpass. Added 30 new weapons as a part of the Splatlands collection, Barazushi/Embers. These weapons will be available in the shops after applying the update. Splatlands Collection Barazushi. So here are all of the new kits which are available within the update. As you can see, this is the full list. I will kind of pause on each section so you can take a look. I'm definitely curious to get people's thoughts on these weapons. I'm not the most competitive player, as a lot of you know, but I am super duper happy that we are getting so many new weapons and kits. Finally, third kits after all this time. Of course, it was speculated that this would happen, and it finally actually is. I mean, from what I can see here so far, it does seem like there is a good variety of different sub-weapons and specials, which is what I would personally want. So I'm really glad that that is the case, and we're getting so many different ones. You'll have to let me know what your favorite is in the comment section. Specifications for some main weapons have changed. S-Blast 92 and 91 increase the amount of ink consumed by approximately 11%. Increase the amount of time between firing and becoming able to act again by approximately 1/20th of a second. So a bit of a nerf for these two weapons here, it seems like. Specifications for some sub-weapons have changed. Toxic Mist. Reduce the amount of ink consumed from 60% of a standard ink tank to 55%. Increase the amount of time it takes for the ink to begin recovering after throwing by about 1/12th of a second. Specifications for some special weapons have changed. Triple Ink Strike. Damage dealt to Crab Tank armor increased by approximately 50%. So the Triple Ink Strike will now have a huge effect on the Crab Tank, which is really interesting. I feel like that could be a pretty good change, to be honest with you. Booyah Bomb. Damage dealt to Crab Tank armor increased by approximately 100%. Oh my gosh. Wow, they really want the Crab Tank armor to just be absolutely destroyed. That's a really interesting change. Is that something that's been a problem in competitive play at the moment? You'll have to let me know. Wavebreaker. Increased durability by approximately 20%. Decreased damage taken by the ink flung by opponents' Splatanas by approximately 50%. Crab Tank. Reduced damage dealt by a direct cannon shot from 60.0 to 50.0. With this change, the damage dealt simultaneously by a direct cannon shot and the explosion is reduced from 90.0 to 80.0. Added a series weapon feature to Anarchy Battle series for S rank and higher. In Anarchy Battle Series for S rank and higher, series weapon power will be measured for each weapon players equipped. They'll be matched with other players whose series weapon power is similar to theirs for the currently equipped weapon. Series weapon power is the same for all 4 modes. Players can check their current series weapon power for each weapon by pressing the ZL button on the equip screen to display the weapon's details. Series weapon power resets each time the season changes, but the highest value players have achieved will be recorded in Splatnet free. In Anarchy Battle Open, increase the amount of change in rank points per battle by approximately 2.5%. Made it so that call signs, which are automatically determined using factors such as equipped gear, will display in X battles in place of nicknames. After the battle ends, you can check players' actual nicknames and IDs, the string of number and letters starting with the hashtag, on screens for checking results, such as the match menu and the lobby terminal. For X rankings, players' actual nicknames and IDs will display. Changes to Splatnet free. Players' best 9 will now display. Best 9 indicates the 9 weapons with the highest series weapon power out of all the weapons the player owns. Best 9 rankings will now display. Best 9 rankings are where players compete for a total series weapon power for their best 9. Notifications from the Splatnet free will now display in the notifications box within the Nintendo Switch app. Other changes: increase the maximum value for weapon freshness to 10 stars. Players can earn new badges for weapons by achieving freshness 6 to 10. Once the update has been applied, weapons that have received XP beyond the maximum value before applying the update will have their freshness increase after one battle by an amount proportionate to the amount of XP received to this point. Added new badges players can acquire based on the number of weapons with freshness 4 stars or higher. Made it so that a player has battled, that really tripped me up then, has battled within Anarchy Series and Splatfest Pro will not display on the users you have played with, system feature of Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2 consoles. I guess that's so you can't harass people? I'm not sure. I really don't know. I guess that's the reason. So like, because these are series, I don't know. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. Maybe it's so you can't team up with people you're really good with or something. I don't know. Or not harass people. I just don't know. As a bonus update, in this update we added weapons and a stage, increased the maximum freshness, implemented a series weapon feature for Anarchy Battle Series, added a call sign feature to X battles, and performed optimization of operations on Nintendo Switch 2. So at the very end of this, where they kind of make some explanations about the changes they've added, they mention that the next update will focus on multiplayer balance based on analysis of changes to the situation that come with these weapon additions. So I assume we will get an update maybe in like July that works on, improving things after all of these new weapons are added. I don't think they're going to wait a really long time for this one, and notice they don't say that the next update will happen after a long period of analysis like they have in past updates. So that heavily suggests it will come sooner rather than later, but they're not sort of tying down an update, because who knows, some of these might be really broken and they have to do an update really soon, so I guess they don't want to sort of put that out there yet. But yeah, definitely a really good update. It'll be interesting to see, if we do get more content updates in the future. I think that would be absolutely fantastic if we do. I'm not getting my hopes up too high, but I think it'd be a great way to incentivize people to play this game on Switch 2, and of course tide us over until the next game. So let me know what some of your favorite changes are down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Splat Gang so I know you did. Leave a like and subscribe for more.